everyone, if you are new to my channel, my name is Jess and I make lifestyle videos. Today I am going to go through and give you an update on my garden. So starting down this row, I have cucumbers and they're spaced out about 1.5 feet each. And I should have put them a little bit closer to this trellis, but it has taken me 3 transplants to get these little guys to stick, and they're actually doing fairly well. This guy right here is from my second transplant and is doing actually okay. This one is from my third transplant, and I have one growing in from seed right there. Right there it is. Just popped up today. I have another one over here that looks like it maybe is popping up. Let's see if I can focus in on this for you. Do you see that little green right there? There it is. And then I don't see one popping up right here. Over here I have my zucchinis. So I have these 3 growing in very well. One of these came from seeds. The other 2 are transplants. I had another seed here, but I do not think it's actually growing. So I'm going to have to transplant one of the plants I actually have on my porch. So these are my green onions that are doing very well, and I need to trim them or pull them, decide what I'm doing there. And then I have this plant that my husband is doing a quote-unquote experiment on. I think he called it something balm, B-A-L-M, but I don't actually know what it is. Supposedly it's an herb. If you know something about that plant, leave it in the comments. Here is a pepper that I planted. This one we actually got from, okay, we have an airplane. We never have airplanes in the country. Look at that! We have an airplane! I'm from the city where there's actually an airport. And now I live about 2 hours away from that place, or an hour away from that place. And we don't see those very often here. Anyways, back to this little guy. I got this pepper at Home Depot. It is an organic pepper. My peppers were just taking forever to pop up, and I decided to get that one. I want to plant some carrots or something over here because we have quite a bit of space. My summer squash. I have a flower on my summer squash. I've been picking the flowers off, but I think at this point it's okay to leave this flower. I am so excited about that. That was not here yesterday. 2 of these came from seed, so this one came from seed. That one was a transplant. This one was a transplant, and that one came from seed. And I had these 2 other ones that kind of grew along with this one from seed. I'm going to water it, but I'm not sure that's going to survive. Same with that one, which is okay. They were extras. I didn't realize how well my pea plants were going to do. They are doing fantastic. I could have started these a lot earlier, but I didn't. And then it ended up snowing anyways, making the ground pretty hard. But these guys are doing super well, and I have a ton of them. Here I have buckets for our tomatoes, and I did buckets this year because last year when we put them in our garden bed, they just grew so much and it was so hard to maintain them. The tan containers are big tomatoes, where the green containers are cherry tomatoes. And I've been trimming them a little bit, pruning them, but I think at this point I'm gonna let them grow a little bit more and see what happens. For some reason, every time I put a tomato plant in this box, it doesn't do well, so I'm gonna have to put something else in there. Herbs are so tricky from seed, so I actually got some mint and some lemon rosemary from Home Depot as well because I was just struggling with them. You can see what I have from seed. This one is a cilantro. It has 1 true leaf on it. Rosemary, 1 true leaf on it. My sage is not doing well. I think I'm gonna have to get that from a plant as well. If you know how to grow herbs from seeds, please give me a hint. All right, I have the neighbor's chickens coming over. I feed these girls corn. There's gonna be at least 10 of them when I'm done this video. Yeah, so the sage just is not doing well. And then I have some parsley over here that's doing okay. And then this tomato plant that just happened to survive. So we're sticking with that. Over in this bed, I have some blackberries, which I do need to trim some of those leaves. We weren't actually sure which stems were from the previous year, so we waited on that. And I have some raspberries, and this one's actually doing super well. I've never actually grown berries before, and it seems to be spreading a ton, like a lot compared to the other ones. I guess that blackberry one is actually spreading pretty well too. I'm new to gardening entirely. I've always wanted to have a garden. Last year was the first year that we did a garden from seedlings that we bought from started plants. This is our first time doing them from seed. So these guys we actually got last year from Home Depot. And I have a chicken following me. Hi. Those are our neighbor's chickens. I want my own chickens, but we're not ready for that yet. I really don't want to come over here and have her follow me because we just planted watermelon, which I do need to water some of them. These were started indoors. Oops. These were started inside, and I have 4. I don't know what's going to become of them with the chickens, but they have some true leaves on them, and I need to water them for sure. But I'm watching you. Don't you dare come over here and eat my watermelon. Oh, I got another one. So the front garden is really the vegetable garden. Back here is more of a flower garden. And I have wildflowers that I'm honestly not sure how they're growing, how they're doing. Some of these are just weeds that were already here. And I did plant seeds, but I'm really not sure how or if those are going to grow. I have no idea what this is. There's a ton of that. These are my loofah gourds. I have 4 on either side. I need to plant some other ones that are inside right now. The reason there is a fence is because of the chickens. So we're going to see how these guys do. It's my first time growing them. I know they need a longer season, but I'm really excited about the idea of having loofahs that we can harvest for Christmas presents this year. Okay, you know you've won over the chickens when they're all over here. Oh, they're drinking water. Hi. Got some flowers. This is what they really want. Hey, Scraggles. Okay, supposedly this plant is called ground cherry. What are they called? Ground cherry something. They look like Chinese lanterns, but they aren't orange, and I guess you can actually eat them. So my husband and I are doing some more research because they were here before we got them. But if we can eat those, I'll let you know how that goes. We have this watering can that we got from, I think it was already here to be honest with you, and it's missing a head. So if any of you have a good idea of how to create some sort of head on top of that, that would be helpful. We bought 2 strawberry plants again this year, so I have one hanging over here, and then we have another hanging over this way. And, oh, one more thing. These guys endured a storm and also snow. So I'm going to transplant these probably this evening and put them in the garden and see how they do. They're either zucchini or summer squash. I'm not really sure which. And that's kind of the gist of the garden. It's hard to take this nice camera out into the garden because it doesn't autofocus, it manual focuses. So my hope is to eventually get a vlogging camera to make that a little bit easier. But we're doing pretty good. I'm actually really happy. Every time I come out, I get so excited to see the progress of stuff growing. I don't really believe that you need to have a green thumb in order to grow a garden. I have no idea what that noise is. I think that's a cow. I really believe that you can just keep trying at something and eventually you will get it. It took me 3 times to transplant some of those plants to even get them to grow. And now we have some flowers off of our squash. So we have our garden along with a meat CSA supporting our friend, and then a veggie CSA supporting a local farm in the next state over. But they're really close to our border. So I think overall this summer we're going to be doing very well. I know gardening is not one of my hot topics on my channel or something that I post about often, but it's another sneak peek into something that I enjoy. YouTube is a hobby of mine, but so is gardening. So I figured I would share that with you guys. If you have any questions or especially tips down below, please let me know because again, I'm still new to gardening. I'm still learning a lot. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel to see my next video, and I will see you guys later. Bye!